Hello. So today I'm going to start another experiment. I have not been able to plant this cutting that have rooted indoors. You can check out my previous videos on how I got this to root. It's winter time right now in SoCal, and it's been raining a lot, and I have not had a chance to pot this guy yet. And it has really long roots right now, as you can see, but I have not been able to root it because it's been raining a lot, and I don't want it to rot out outside, because that's what happened with my other cuttings that I just stuck in the ground. And so I wanted to preserve this guy, and pot it when it's no longer raining and we get more sunshine outside. So I'm gonna see if I can keep this in water growing for a little bit longer before I can pot it outside. And I have this other variety that I've been growing from seed, but I wanted to kind of speed up its growing process because it's been growing pretty slowly. This cutting is actually a red dragon fruit cutting. It's a sweet variety, and this seedling that I was able to grow for a month and a half now, or a couple months actually. It's been here since November 10. You can see from the date. And it's only grown this much. I mean, it's taking really slow growing from seed, and I'm very lucky that it's still seeded and grew, but I kind of want to help it grow a little bit faster so that hopefully by the time I can plant this outside, it would help speed up speed up its growth process. So I'm going to see if I could start the graft indoors and whether that will help with the grafting. Whether it will allow that graft to be successful indoors while it's shielded from the cold and rainy wet weather outside. So I forgot to mention what variety this is that I was able to grow from seed. This was actually grown from a yellow dragon fruit variety that I purchased from Sam's Club at the market grocery store. It was a yellow, super sweet, white flesh with large seeds, and I was able to grow them from seed. And just to give you a little bit perspective on how slow they are growing, I've been growing them indoors. I planted at least 2 or 3 seeds per cup on this container that I did. It's like a makeshift greenhouse I did so I can grow them indoors. It's an old mango container. It's been here since November 10, 2022, and today is January 14, 2023. So it's been here for about 2 months now at least, and from seed it has grown this much, and it's not at all been successful. I was only 1, 2, 3 cups out of 6, so 50% growth I got from since I started. And this guy is a red dragon fruit branch that I got from my neighbor. They were throwing away a bunch of cuttings, and they were nice enough to give me some for free. And it's been in water. I was doing a bunch of videos before on its progress. It's been in water for over a month now, and it started to root. Yeah, so it's been doing pretty well. I've been just changing the water every day for a couple days. I actually just transferred it into a new vase because I wanted this guy to be separated, since I'm going to do the graft on this branch alone. So yeah, I've been changing the water every couple of days. It's rooted for a couple of days. For over a month now, at least 30, I would say 32 or 33 days that it has been in water. And I've been just cleaning out the bottom with a dab of hydrogen peroxide, using baby wipe with hydrogen peroxide to kind of prevent it from molding, and so it stays a little bit cleaner. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and graft this red dragon fruit variety cutting that I have rooted for over a month now, with one of these seedlings, the yellow dragon fruit. I believe it was an Ecuador. The sticker said Ecuador, so I think it would be the Ecuador yellow dragon fruit. So I have a couple of things here ready. I have my knife and Sharpie to label. Today is January 14th, so I'm gonna label that. And toothpick to drill some holes to where we're gonna be placing these little seedlings on. Well, I'm only gonna use one, so these little seedlings, singular. So first I'm going to cut the top of it off. So the top has been dry, so no growth there whatsoever. It's just been drying. It's been like that for a while. Just gonna cut to expose some green flesh, I guess. So let me see, a clean knife, kitchen knife. I'm just gonna cut carefully since there's glass underneath this table and I don't want it to break. Maybe I should just, Okay, so I'm just gonna cut like this because I don't want to break my dining table since there's glass underneath the parchment paper. You need kind of a sharp knife because this is kind of difficult to do. Okay, so I have to go and cut it over at the other table because I didn't want to risk breaking my glass table underneath here. So here it is. So I was able to cut this off with my knife. See, wanted to expose the green flesh underneath because I wanted to drill a hole in the center of it using a chopstick. Right here, I wanted to drill a hole. That's where we're going to insert the seedling. Also, I wanted to point out that as you are cutting, be careful not to damage the roots. It's very delicate. And so, yeah, so just be careful when you're cutting. Just keep in mind the roots, that it doesn't get damaged. So I put it back in its face, so for stability when we drill the hole using a toothpick. So I did another video, if you'd like to check that out, how I use a chopstick when on a bigger branch to drill holes during one of my grafting videos. I use a chopstick just for a better I guess grip on when you're drilling a hole if you don't have a drill, for example. And so first I wanted to measure how deep we're gonna dig. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the seedling since this seems to be the strongest, I mean the tallest of the three. Well, actually four if you count this little guy. This guy seems to be the strongest and the tallest, so we're gonna use that one, and I'm gonna just measure how far and how long it is. So first I'm gonna go ahead and snip this guy. I know. Okay. Then I'm gonna just measure and mark my toothpick. Okay, so there's my little seedling and there's my toothpick, and I'm just gonna see how long it is and label it. So about there is where I'm gonna, how deep I'm gonna dig into my dragon fruit cutting. Is that about right? Yeah, so about right there at the end of the black. So I went ahead and labeled the date at the start of this experiment. Today again is January 14, 2023. And fixed the root to be immersed in water a little bit more. And right where the inner stem, right here, let me focus a little bit more. There you go. So right here is where we're going to be digging, poking at the height, at this deep that we measured earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right just in the center. Oops, just want to be careful. So I don't want to damage the root, so just be very gentle. So that's it. Just at the end of the black marking. Right there. You see the black marking right here? Right there. So that's how far I poke through. Yep, right there. I stopped and just wiggle it a little bit to make it a little bit whole for the seedling. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like after I pulled off the toothpick. And here is my little seedling. And I'm just gonna put it inside that hole. Let me see if I could. All right, so there's a hole, and here's my seedling, and I'm just gonna see if I could fit it in there. Just be careful because the seedling's very delicate, and it fits perfectly. Just gonna gently tap it down, very gently tapping it down, because you don't want to damage, don't want to break the you don't want to break the leaves, because that's where it's going to absorb sunlight and energy from to grow. I'm hoping it's not going deeper, so I might have to dig a tiny bit more. And then after this, I'm going to put this by the windowsill and let it sit there with water, just so that it can get some sunlight source from the window until it's strong enough to be planted outside. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I just pushed it in a little bit deeper so I can push this a little bit further inward, and so that there's not that much gap. Okay, so there it is. There's my graft, and I'm just gonna leave this back on top of the air fryer. If you watch my previous videos, I was able to root this using an air fryer as a heating source by the window, so it gets both sunlight source hopefully through the window and a heating source from the bottom generated by the air fryer. Okay, so it's dark outside now, I can't see, but behind this is hopefully my source of sunlight when the sun comes out in the morning. This is my air fryer. So we use this pretty often, and it's what I've been using to get these dragon fruit cuttings to root. It's been successful for me, and so I'm gonna just continue the same process, try to grow this indoors, seeing that it's rooted so I know it's alive, and hoping that this graft that we just did would be successful, and hopefully it would continue to grow faster than it did, you know, in its seeding position earlier with the seed pods. Yeah, so wish me luck. Hopefully our graft is successful. I'm gonna continue to change the water every couple of days to keep it clean and not moldy. And when it's ready to, you know, if I show some signs of progress, I will go ahead and take it outside and let it grow from there. Oh, also when the weather is more accommodating to it. Right now, I mean, more inviting, I guess. Right now it's not. It's gonna rain all weekend. No, little bit of sun. So I'm just gonna wait a couple weeks and keep this growing indoors still, and go from there and see if it's ready for outside world, or let it continue to grow indoors and see how fast or slow it progresses. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and wish me luck with this dragon fruit grafting, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully I have a little bit more bigger growth than today. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. If you enjoy watching my videos and you learn something, please like, subscribe, or share. Bye!